Marietta, Otterbein, Mount Union, and John Carroll, the final four teams that stand in the Ohio Athletic Conference as we are in the semifinals at the Rike Center in Westerville. The Cardinals and the Purple Raiders set to do battle. This is Mount Union versus Otterbein Volleyball live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Good evening, everyone, and once again, welcome to Westerville. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening in what looks to be a tremendous rematch from last year's 2023 OAC title game, which saw the Otterbein Cardinals take down Mount Union in 5 sets. A tight match all the way around, with the home team in this match ending up winning 15-11 in set number 5. A lot of returners from that team and a few newcomers, including Emerson Baum, who finds herself as an honorable mention in the OAC as a freshman. Impressive output from her this year. Kennedy Hoffman, everyone in Westerville knows what to expect from her. First team All-OAC, Player of the Week the past week that we played, from the 4th to the 10th, and last year's 2023 OAC Offensive Player of the Year. Hoffman, she'll need to have a great performance today if Otterbein wants to repeat the feat of sweeping Mount Union as they did back all the way on October 4th. So far this year, Kennedy Hoffman averaging almost 3.5 points per set, even at 300 kills on the year. Kennedy Hoffman, she is in line for a tremendous day, but Mount Union, they have the best blocking defense in the entire Ohio Athletic Conference, entering play today with 2.68 blocks per set, which is 4th in all of Division III. Being 4th in the nation at anything is impressive, and that number alone is huge. And Mount Union, the reason why they're so good at blocking, enter the front line. You have so many players who can play in so many different slots, it's not even funny. In the middle alone, you have honorable mention All-OAC Ava Bolin, the sophomore from West Virginia. To her right, she has Alexis Meyer often, and then to the left of her, the formidable two-time All-American Heaven Bartel in what could be her final career game as a Purple Raider. It's a tough matchup to call. It's white versus white. The only difference, the liberos, Troyer in red and Haley in the black for the Purple Raiders. Start time was supposed to be 7, delayed a few minutes, but still, here it is, the big time. Winner takes on either Marietta, who is undefeated entering play today, or John Carroll. A loss for the Blue Streaks means their time as an OAC volleyball school comes to a close. It's the Otterbein Cardinals, and it's the Mount Union Purple Raiders. When you look at rematches, it cannot get any better than this. Going back to last year, the overall points scored, 110 for Otterbein, 107 for Mount Union. Across 5 sets, 3 points, the difference. We'll toss it downstairs for our public address announcements before the game. And once we have those, we will be underway in Westerville.
First for Mount Union, which enters the number 3 seed with a record of 19-9 overall. Number 1, Ava Bolin. Number 3, Casey Kildell. Number 5, Alexis Meyer. Number 9, Heaven Bartel. Number 16, Caitlin Leslie.
Once again, a good evening from the Rike Center on the campus of Otterbein. It's the 2-seed Otterbein Cardinals taking on the number 3 seed Mount Union Purple Raiders. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening. This should be a good game. I mentioned it in the preview/opener. This was your 2023 OAC title game. Otterbein victors in 5, 15-11 in the decisive set. This year, Mount Union defeated in 3 straight sets at home on October 4th. But why do they have hope heading into tonight? Look at the scoreline of that match. 25-22 in 2 sets and 25-23 at the end. A close margin of error from Otterbein, and they would have potentially flipped the result. Mount Union, they're known for being scrappy. They can be one of the scrappiest volleyball teams in the entirety of the conference and the division, really. They're a good team. They know what they do best. And what they do best is play defense. Their defense can easily turn into offense. As for Otterbein, 7th in digs, 6th in blocks, and 3rd in offense. They do a lot pretty decently, but nothing overly exceptional. And that could play a factor in tonight's game if Mount Union excels blocking like they did in the victory against Muskie on Tuesday. That being a 5-set thriller. That game had a lot of us nervous, myself included, as the tremendous play of the Muskies really put Mount Union to the test. They passed test number 1. Test number 2 is here. And test number 3, if they get there, awaits either at the border of Ohio and Kentucky or back here or in Alliance. The Purple Raiders in white, the Otterbein Cardinals in white, the libero for Mount Union in black, and the Cardinals libero in red. Back deep to serve for Otterbein is Ashley Kielfer, and we are underway. Mount Union looking to get on the board early. They will start on offense as Meyer hits it over. Otterbein entering play today, a tremendous record of 19-8, and they will take the opening point. Great start by Otterbein. Players getting open, good runs being made. Kefauver continuing to serve. 1-0 Otterbein. They look to make it 2. Shallow serve, Bartel digs, Kildau, Bolin gets it over, kept in the air by Sugar. Good reaction by the middle hitter. Kildau, cross court to Bartel. Troyer playing it forward. The set and spike combo kept alive by Alesko in the back line, and Bartel will return. Otterbein back on offense. Vitaz picking out one of her attackers. It's Kennedy Hoffman earning her first point for the Cardinals. It's 2-0 Otterbein. Tremendous chemistry and tremendous teamwork by Vitaz and Hoffman, both of them making all OAC teams. Vitaz on the second team, Hoffman on first. Kildau picks out Ava Bolin, and now Otterbein back on the offensive. Hoffman, it's blocked by Meyer, but kept in the air. Vitaz tries to pick out Sugar. Sugar, not a clean read. Mount Union is on the board. The blocking of Mount Union can lead to errors quite often, and that is why their defense into offense strategy works so well. Coach Morrison in year 10 as a Purple Raider, looking to win her first title since 2014. Beautiful kill by Otterbein. That is Sugar sneaking it in front of the Purple Raiders, putting the home team up 3-1. Another good example of catching the defense off guard. We saw that a lot in the Muskegum game on Tuesday. Spikes landing just in front of backline players. Played forward, the give and go with Leininger, and Leininger's able to sneak it over. Gantz trying to pick out Hoffman. Hoffman, not a clean read. Mount Union strikes back. Haley subs out, and now we enter Cami Welty, the freshman from Eastlake North High School. If it wasn't for JCU's player winning Newcomer of the Year, Cami Welty had a good cause along with Emerson Baum. Bartel, Kildau playing it back, and the 2-time All-American is able to return. Baum, the give and go and kill. Vitaz to Baum, and that is enough to put the Cardinals back up by 2. The give and goes have been tremendous this evening so far through 6 serves, a light set, and a powerful spike. Vitas sending it over. Bartel, Kildau, Leininger blocked at the net and rolls back into Otterbein territory. Vitas plays it back. The lollipop hit from Mergen, able to put the Cardinals up by 3, their biggest lead thus far. (5-2) Otterbein. Olivia Vitas, the junior from Edison High School, sending it over. Leininger can't get it cleanly. It's 6-2 Otterbein. This is the start the Cardinals wanted. Had a bye in the first round of the OAC tournament. They want to make a statement today and prove the bye wasn't for nothing. Vitas, Leininger cleanly gets this one. The give and go. Welty gets the kill. Welcome to the OAC tournament, Cami Welty. Substitution, Meyer coming out along with Casey Kildau. On to serve for Mount Union is Melissa Hansen. 6-3, Mount Union trailing. The serve. Vitas picking at Hoffman. Welty gets a piece. Leininger, Hansen setting it, blocked. McKee's efforts unable to get over. A huge play combined by Baum and I believe Hoffman. Substitution for the Cardinals. It'll be a double change for the first time today. Kennedy Hoffman subs out along with Ashley Kefauver, the sophomore. 7-3 Otterbein. Sent over by Schellenberger. The hit from Leininger kept alive. Vitas, Baum the push. Bartel, Avery Haley playing it forward, and Darby Leininger returns. Vitas pushes, Bartel greets Hansen. Leininger goes again. The tips around, somehow finding Lexi Scott. Troyer able to get it to her. Leininger goes again and can't get it to go. Emerson Baum in the middle, blocking it. I don't think they're going to call it a necessary block, but Baum right there to throw off Leininger. (8-3), barely sneaking over. Haley keeps it alive. Leininger hits. No tip called. 9-3 Otterbein. And now a timeout is called by Coach Morrison to talk things over. Otterbein looking stellar so far. 12 serves in. It's 9-3 Otterbein. (9-3 Otterbein in set number 1 of the OAC Volleyball semifinals. If you are just tuning in, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. And eventually this will re-air on Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance for those of you who live in the city limits of Alliance or in the Marlington region. Hansen picking out Haley, returned, Troyer, Vitas going behind, blocked by Welty and Leininger. Otterbein tries the other side. Haley sending it forward. Hansen, McKee the run, the light tap, the dig keeps it alive. Beautiful play by Mergen. And out of play, Otterbein continuing to rule, now reaches double figures. (10-3 Otterbein. They look to make it 11. The short serve, Haley, Hansen, Molly McKee. It's blocked but out of play. Mount Union takes a point back. And there is where the blocking defense can hurt a team. If you are unable to get the ball back within the parameters of the opposing team's side, you don't get the point. You can do all the things right at the net, but if it doesn't stay in play, it means nothing. Troyer, the set from Vitaz, the hit over from Scott. Hansen, Heaven Bartel on the outside. Troyer playing forward. Vitaz to Baum. Once again, it's Bartel. McKee, the light tap, gets the skim, but Mergen plays it back. Scott, it's blocked. Is it out of play? Yes, it is. Otterbein will benefit. Right on cue, a perfect example of a good block. Molly McKee on the right side, getting up, getting a finger on the ball, but it goes out of play. Otterbein restores their already large advantage of 7. Haley, Hansen, Welty, it's blocked. Staying in Mount Union territory. Bartel, the return. Vitaz going behind, picking out Mergen, and it will stay in Otterbein territory. Remaining on the attack, Scott, Haley, Hansen pushes over. Otterbein, another chance to set up the offense. The push. Beautiful dig by Lesko. Bartel returns. Another diving dig. This time it's from Schellenberger. The tip out of play gives a point to Otterbein. Completely set up by Mackenzie Schellenberger, the sophomore from Medina, Ohio, as she was able to snatch the ball out of thin air, giving Otterbein a chance, which then they completed the play. Heavy serve out of play. Mount Union will take the point. Back to serve is the libero, Avery Haley. Haley playing libero both years that she has been a Purple Raider thus far. Sent over. Otterbein looking to set up the offense once again. The light tap from Sugar. Hansen with Ava Bolin, and Bolin gets the point. There is Ava Bolin using her 6'2" stature to earn a huge point for Mount Union. Possession stays with the Purple Raiders. Haley sending it over. Otterbein up by 6 in set number 1. Scott gets the tip off of Hansen, and the Cardinals are back on the score sheet. Good response by Otterbein. Mount Union, they started to gain a little bit of momentum. That was quickly ended by Otterbein. They have been a very well-oiled machine, and they have clearly used this week of practice to get better. Haley, Hansen lining up. Bartel the kill! That is what a two-time All-American can do. 13-7, Mount Union trailing. Hansen and McKee out. Kildau, who was on to serve, and Alexis Meyer both subbing in. The senior duo looking to make some final memories before their time as a Purple Raider is up. Vitaz getting it to Sugar, blocked at the net. Mount Union staying on the defensive. Ball in the block! The point goes to the Purple Raiders. Mount Union's defense starting to come alive as we are reaching the midway point of set number 1. Sent over. Played forward by Troyer and hit over by Scott. Haley and Lesko combine for the dig. Meyer returns. Vitaz to Scott. Lesko front line. Pushed over by Kildau. Beautiful placement. Troyer keeping it alive, but not enough time. Mount Union will take the point. Excellent execution by Casey Kildau. We usually don't see Kildau do things on the offensive end. She is known as a traditional setter. She will line up opportunities for the likes of Bartel, Meyer, and Bolin and stay back. Maybe she'll go to the logo on occasion to set, but otherwise, plays like that we usually do not see from Casey Kildau, but definitely we will welcome it. The shallow serve kept alive by Gantz. Returned by Scott, blocked. Bolin can't get it. Otterbein gets a well-needed point. Once again, a good response by the Cardinals. Mount Union started to get they started to get comfortable. Otterbein uncomfortable, but the response that they needed was there, and it was immediate. Kefauver, she started the game serving, back behind the line, as she will send it over. Lesko can't get it cleanly. Otterbein getting the point on the ace from Kefauver. If you're Otterbein, it doesn't get much better than that. A perfectly executed serve. Kefauver entering the frame, sending it over. Lesko, Kildau, Heaven Bartel gets the point. And there is Kildao in her traditional role of lining up the offense for Mount Union. That puts the Purple Raiders in double figures. Lesko subs out of the ball game. Meyer, Leininger, Bolin, Kildao, Haley, and Bartel, Mount Union 6. Vitaz going behind, setting up Sugar, skied by Haley. Kildao picking Leininger. Kept alive on the set, the push from Emerson Baum. The point goes to Mount Union, and it's a double hit against Emerson Baum. I was not at the game on October 4th, but now I am starting to see why it was such a close match. Both of these teams know how to excel, and both of them do it well. And they say it's in play. No, they're going to say it's off the tip. Either way, Otterbein taking the point. And as well, Otterbein, their mascot's here. Like seeing the Cardinal over there. Schroyer sends it over. Leininger, the give and go with Kildao. Schroyer skies, keeping it alive. Hoffman, unable to get it over. Mount Union back within 4. I'll take control of the camera for a brief moment here. There's the Cardinal, look at him. He's enjoying life with Otterbein up by 4. Bolin sends it over. Vitaz, the set, the run from Baum, and the kill. It does not get any better than that. The beautiful set, the beautiful spike, the beautiful kill. Picture perfect from Otterbein. That is the only way to describe it. It does not get any better than that. Vitaz sending it over. Leininger unable to get it cleanly. Otterbein getting back hot, up by 6. And a timeout is called by Coach Morrison to talk things over. Otterbein, a slight scare, but their offense returns with force as we step aside. The Cardinals lead by 6 in set number 1. As we return to the Rike Center, my next broadcast on the SmeeSports YouTube channel will be next Friday as Holy Name welcomes in Amherst for a hockey clash. And then on Saturday, it's the Parma Holy War, Holy Name and Padua live at Reese. To stay up to date on all the games I'm covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFist2024 on Twitter, and subscribe to the SmeeSports YouTube channel and enable push notifications to be notified when I upload or go live. My goal, 250 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. Lollipop point for the Cardinals, and that is how they will begin life after the timeout. Mount Union, if you are just tuning in, out of timeouts. Coach Morrison has used both that she has at her disposal for the opening set. Vitaz serves, Haley dig, Kildao up, and the point goes to Mount Union. Alexis Meyer sneaking it through some fingertips. Kildao and Meyer will sub out as that will bring on McKee and Hansen. That is the main change Mount Union likes to employ. Molly McKee, she has had a tremendous second half of the season and will most likely be your starting right side next year once Alexis Meyer graduates. Haley skying it, and that is into the wooden bleachers. Going back to the regional finals, I thought a ball was going to hit my equipment. I don't think it's safe up here in the skybox. 2013, Otterbein well in the driver's seat. If Mount Union wants a comeback, it needs to start now. Sent over by Schellenberger. Leininger sneaks it over, and the point goes to Mount Union. There it is. Mount Union's bread and butter, along with blocking. Great responses. They keep their heads up. They keep working, and they fight until the end of the set. They are known for struggling in set number 1, but sets 2 through 4, that is where they get hot. Vitez, the give and go. Hansen forward. Haley lined up for McKee. Schroyer playing it forward. Vitez, Lexi Scott, Haley skying it again. Otterbein's power giving everyone on Mount Union trouble receiving the ball. The set and spike from Hoffman, it's blocked. Welty and Bartell getting pieces. Scott goes again. It's Lesko. Played forward by Hansen. McKee, crossbody, can't get it to go. Otterbein survives and gets the point. Those long-winded sequences make or break a team. If you want to know how a team responds in adversity, just look at that sample size. Baum sending it over. Haley, Hansen, Bartell. It's blocked but out of play. 21-15. Otterbein still in the lead, but possession goes back to Mount Union. It will be Avery Haley back deep to serve. Haley sending it over and out of play. Otterbein gets the point right back. The Cardinals 3 points away from sealing a victory in set number 1. Grace Gantz, the junior from Olentangy Liberty High School, back deep to serve. Olentangy Liberty plays a gauntlet of a schedule. A lot of the schools around there play gauntlets of schedule, but especially Olentangy. Bowen getting a piece. The reaction is there, getting it over. Now Otterbein on the offensive. The give and go with Lexi Scott. Lesko digs. Hansen cross court to the outside. Bartell sneaks it over. Pace and precision. Bartell can do them both. And the Otterbein Cardinal not too happy by the student section after that point. He can keep his chin up for the most part. Otterbein up big. Now he seems a lot happier. There he is. He's dancing a little bit. Lexi Scott pushing it over. Bartell can't control. Otterbein, as they have so often tonight, responds with a point. Otterbein making some substitutions, potentially the final substitutions of the opening frame. And we'll cut back to Mike number 1, or camera number 1. You can kind of see the Otterbein Cardinal. He's enjoying life. Sent over by Kefauver. Lesko having Bartell blocked, but still in play. Haley, Bartell, try number 2. That time it goes. Excellent effort on the dig attempt, but Olivia Vitez unable to keep it alive. Vitez being the setter on the second team all OAC this year. 23-17, sent over by Bartell and out of play. It is set point in favor of Otterbein. This is what we expected to see from the home team. An immediate good start to life in the OAC tournament. There's a reason why they went 7-2 in conference, and it's an ace to end it off. Amanda Troyer uses the net to her advantage and seals the deal, 25-17 in the opening frame. That could not have gone any better on the final serve. We will step aside. The Cardinals, they have 1 set down. They need 2 more sets to book a trip to either play Marietta in Marietta or host John Carroll. You are watching Mount Union versus Otterbein Volleyball live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Otterbein enjoying life in the OAC tournament, taking down Mount Union 25-17 in set number 1. Before we enter the second frame, we'll take a quick look at our stat leaders powered by Sidearm Sports for Mount Union. Looking at the stats, Casey Kildau leading the way in some categories, trying to see it the cleanest way possible, but really nothing much. Bartel leading the way in kills. That's what I thought. Originally it showed Kildau with 5, and she has played in the back line for most of the game, so I did not think that was the case. Looking at another view for Otterbein, it is Lexi Scott leading the way with 6 kills, but otherwise 25-17. As for blocks, we really haven't seen too many from Mount Union, and that is a big reason why they have struggled. We need to see them execute in that department, and if they can, they do have a good chance of still coming back and taking home the victory. This game is not out of reach by any means. You're 1 set in. There's a reason we play 5. Heading down to the court, Kildau sending it over, and we are underway in set number 2. Hoffman skying it off of Avery Haley. Otterbein continues to dominate. Once again, if you're Otterbein, you could not have asked for a better start to set number 2. They're a team that likes to jump out and get early leads. Both teams, Mount Union and Otterbein alike, play a very similar style in that regard. Schroyer sending it over, just out of play. The Cardinal faithful can't believe it. It was close, definitely very close. I don't know if that was out of play. Either way, Mount Union tying it up at 1. Their bench getting fired up as Bartel sends it over. Vitez, the run from Baum. Bartel able to get it to Meyer, returned by Kildau. Vitez, the light tap from Hoffman. Kildau going right to the net to keep it alive as Alexis Meyer returns. Troyer, Hoffman sneaks it over, and on the tip, Otterbein gets the point. A delayed call just to make sure they got it right, but I agree with the officials on that call. Meyer barely touching the ball as it went out of play. Nothing else she could have done. It's 2-1 Otterbein. Sent over by Vitez. Kildau behind. Bolin can't get it to go. Too shy of the net. Otterbein up 3-1. And they will continue to run with Vitez. Vitez, a tremendous season as an Otterbein Cardinal this year, going over to the kills department. Having 73 from her position is very impressive. Haley keeping it alive, pushed over by Kildau. The set and spike ball blocked by Bolin. There's the blocking defense of Mount Union on display. 3-2 possession with the Purple Raiders. It is Ava Bolin, the 6'2" sophomore from West Virginia, getting ready to send it over. Vitez picking out Hoffman. Hoffman looking for the tip. No dice. Mount Union ties it. A point here would give the Purple Raiders their first lead of the match. Ava Bolin sending it away. Tipped back by Vitez and bomb the kill. The connection between 25 and 26 doesn't get any better. That is what you need from your setter and outside hitter. That kind of chemistry wins you championships. 4-3 Otterbein. And it's sent over by Schellenberger. The light tap kept alive by Kildau. Good reaction on the hit from Bergen. Vitez, bomb, once again, is kept alive by Leininger. Beautiful dig, I believe, by Bartel, the initial effort. Bartel picking out Alexis Meyer. Troyer skies. Vitez playing it back to Baum. Haley forward. Kildau outside the lines. It's Meyer just missing behind. Otterbein up by 2. And actually, they changed it. It's 4-4. I did not anticipate a change on that call. Either way, we are back even at 4. Sending it over for Mount Union. It is Hansen, and it's out of play. Otterbein gets the 5th point, a play later than they believe. They earned it. So now 5-4, Otterbein up by 1, looking to make it 2. Mount Union playing this set a lot closer, but it's an ace. It does not matter. Otterbein takes their 2-point lead back as it's the freshman Emerson Baum in her first ever OAC tournament match dominating. Emerson Baum sang it over. Bartel, Hansen, Leininger gets the tip but kept alive by Baum. Lexi Scott getting open off the tip. She gets the point. That ace changed momentum completely in favor of Otterbein. A point here, maybe we do see a timeout called. Baum sang it over on a line drive. Leininger, Bartel, the lights have. Vaitas going behind, picking out Mergen, kept alive by the Purple Raiders, hit over for the first time today. We are seeing Riley Meister, and that one's out of play. The substitution works. Mount Union back within 2, and we will see Caitlin Lesko, the senior from Mineral Ridge, sub back in. Lesko, there's been times she's in the lineup, other times she has not. Either way, she shows what senior leadership is. Keeping her head up, continuing to work, and when it matters most, Coach Morrison has put her faith in number 16. Bartel gets the point. Meister fired up, giving a slight nudge to her senior. It's 7-6. Mount Union a chance to tie it back up. It remains with Lesko as she sends it over. Vaitas, the run to Scott, and it falls just in front of Caitlin Lesko. The response is immediate from Otterbein. Substitution for the Cards as Mergen comes out of the ballgame as Grace Cans, the junior, rejoins the fun. 8-6, Otterbein through 14 serves in the set, and it's an ace! No one home in the back line, and that is an immediate impact off the bench from number 16. On an execution standpoint, that could not have been any prettier. Hansen playing it back, Meister the tip, too many hits, Otterbein in double figures, and we should see a timeout, and we do. Timeout, Coach Mankey and the Purple Raiders. She wants to talk things over. Otterbein dominating early in the OAC semifinals, up 10-6, 1-0 overall over Mount Union. Once again, I will flash it on the screen. If you are a small business owner looking to sponsor local broadcast, contact me at the information on your screen, and we can get you set up for a sponsorship package. I will have some sponsors for the first time on the channel next Friday as Holy Name welcomes in Amherst Steel, and then on Saturday as Holy Name Hockey welcomes in Padua Franciscan. To stay up to date on all the games I'm covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFest2024 on Twitter, and subscribe to the SmeeSports YouTube channel and enable push notifications to be notified when I upload or go live. My goal, 250 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. So if you are new and not subscribed, I ask that you go down below and do so. It does not cost you anything, and it helps the channel out greatly. For the first time tonight, first of many times, I'd like to say thank you to Mount Union Volleyball for busing me out here to Otterbein to be able to call the game on behalf of Mount Union. I'm excited to be here. First road game of my Mount Union career, calling a game. Mount Union down right now, but still the bus ride here around 2.5 hours, a fun atmosphere. Seeing the game that way and seeing the team in that fashion, it's pretty cool. I like that, and that's what I always say during high school and college broadcasts. When you have class with these kids, you see them walking around campus, it means more because these are not just athletes. These are real people that you know, that you have conversations with the whole lot. Beautiful block by Meister, and that will keep it in Otterbein territory, but still, Mount Union getting in some rhythm. Bolin, it's blocked and out of play. Mount Union back within 2. And as well, thank you to Otterbein for hosting me. They didn't have to do it, but they did. So I appreciate them, and I'm very glad I'm able to stream this game and call some good OAC volleyball. The light tap over from Scott, kept alive. Meister the push, sneaking it over, pushed by Vitas, snatched by Haley. Bolin pushed over by Hansen. Vitas lining it up, and the kill! Kristen Sugar, the senior from Findlay, a perfect hit and kill. It cannot get any better than that. Once again, Otterbein, their sets and spikes on point. The chemistry that these players have is nothing short of impressive. A lot of variance from freshman to senior on the roster. Otterbein next year, if they don't get the OAC title this year, and assuming Marietta loses a lot of people, they can get it next year. And no tip call, the Mount Union faithful not happy. It's 12-8 Otterbein. 20 serves in. The Purple Raiders down by 4. Who will step up and be the hero? The lollipop, it stays in Otterbein territory. That will help the Purple Raider cause. They're down by 3, but take back possession. Meister and Hansen subbing out. Maybe the longest sequence we have seen Riley Meister play all season, and she did really good. That is good to see for the future of this program. Meister, a sophomore right side. Her and McKee could really dominate that side starting next year. Haley, Kildau the set, ball in the hit, off the tip. Mount Union should take the point, but they give it to Otterbein. 13-9 Cardinals. It did look like it ricocheted, but definitely from this angle, not an easy thing to see, so I understand why it's not called. Troyer sending it over. Bartel getting it and hitting it over. Back to the net. Bowl, and it's blocked, and it falls in Mount Union territory. Beautiful job by Otterbein, forcing it back into Bolin's basket. It's a 5-point lead for the home team. Usually at this point in the broadcast, to not keep saying Otterbein or Mount Union, you get into the team name, which I have, Cardinals and Purple Raiders, but then you go to jersey colors. You can't today. They're both wearing white. The tip over from Meyer gets the point. Mount Union enters double figures. Substitution, Lesko out, Leininger in. Bolin in the middle. Leininger will be on the outside with Meyer on the right. Vitas picking out Hoffman. The dig from Haley. Bartel lining it up for Leininger. Leininger, two-hand set over. Vitas, the push. Leininger gets a piece, kept alive by Bartel on the slide. Meyer returns. Mount Union being defensive at the moment now will get into their offense. Meyer gets the point on the tip. Whichever way you shake it, it's going to be a Mount Union point on the tip, or if it hit in play. Beautiful execution by Alexis Meyer as she continues to be a Mount Union stud. Baum hitting it over. Bartel, Kildau pushing it over, still playing more attacking than usual, and a kill. The set and spike, you know it's coming, but you just can't stop it. And now a scoreline very familiar to Otterbein, going back to set 5 last year, 15-11. It was bound to happen at least one in this match, given last year's OAC Finals, a great match, I believe, in this building. It happens again. And a kill for Alexis Meyer. Going to the middle. No matter where she is at the net, she can make an impact. 15-12, Mount Union trailing. It's Ava Bolin sending it over. Troyer. Vitas going behind, and it's a kill. Kennedy Hoffman unfazed. There's a reason why she won OAC Player of the Year last year. And for those of you wondering, depending on how this match ends, scoreline-wise, how do each team fare in those results? Otterbein winning 11 out of 14 matchups that were ended in 3 sets, 7-4 in ones that ended in 4, and 1-1 in 5-set thrillers. As for Mount Union, 10-3 in 3-0 sweeps, 6-3 in 3-1s, and 3-3 in 3-2s. And the point will go to Mount Union, making it 16-13. That is definitely something to look at. Those stats definitely matter. You want to see what the odds are if the set ends in what match that your team wins. And that kind of is a big part of volleyball. And a lot of it's the atmosphere. Hansen sending it over. Kildau and Meyer just subbing out. Another kill for Emerson Baum. The set and spike continues to be unstoppable. (17-13) as it is sent over by Baum. Hansen, Meister, it's blocked, kept alive by Leininger. Meister tries again, gets it off the tip. Baum keeping alive the run, the block by Welty. Meister, Hansen, Welty again, the push. Kept in play by Otterbein. Scott off the tip, gets the point. 18-13 Otterbein, and the second timeout of set number 2 is called by Coach Morrison. Otterbein celebrating, up by 5 in set number 2, up 1-0 overall. You are watching Mount Union versus Otterbein Volleyball live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. We will be back momentarily. (18-13) Otterbein leading in set number 2, up 1-0 overall. If you are just tuning in, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you live from the Rike Center in Westerville. Leininger unable to find anyone. Otterbein gets the opening point after the timeout is called. As well, if you are just tuning in, Otterbein, they have controlled this match. Mount Union never has had a lead. Down by 6, they need a response. Going back to last year, the Mount Union faithful, they know what happened in sets 3 through 5 against Marietta. They might have to pull off a similar feat if they want to make it back to the OAC championship game. Sadie Thomas subbing out, that was her first appearance of the game. A lot of new faces and a lot of rotation so far today from Coach Morrison. The serve from Lesko to Rich. Otterbein in the 20s. Mergen subbing out of the game as Caitlin Schramm, the freshman from Heartland High School, subs in. I believe this is the first time we are seeing Schramm enter the playing field. And she will send it over, but not able to get it to go as it stays in Otterbein territory. Mount Union now down by 5. 20-15, Avery Haley back deep for the Purple Raiders as she will send it over. Scott, the give and go with Troyer, kept alive by Haley. Now to Bartel, it skies, it hits off the Jumbotron, still playable. Let's go forward, Hansen, Meister the tip, Vitez, Troyer picking out Scott, Haley. Hansen playing it forward. Heaven Bartel gets it to go off a fingertip, but still in play. Vitez, the run, tipped over, and the point goes to Mount Union. Either Bolin or Bartel got to it. And for those of you wondering what the rule is on hitting the Jumbotron, what I'm going to assume is if it hits and goes back into whichever team hit its territory, it's still in play. But if that would have hit back into Mount Union territory, it would have been a Purple Raider point, as you cannot use that to play it back. Lesko unable to get it cleanly. The point goes to Otterbein as they restore their 5-point lead. Last year was Mount Union's first NCAA tournament appearance since 2014. Overall in the OAC tournament, 30-31 following the victory on Tuesday. 3-time OAC champs going back to 2011, 2013, and 2014. Otterbein, they are yet to win the competition. Or excuse me, they won it last year. They have a chance to do a repeat. Is it in play? No, just misses out of play. 21-17, Mount Union trailing. They need a response, and they need it now. Casey Kildow back deep and behind her. You can't see the Cardinals' head, but you can see him holding up the defense sign. Sent over by Kildow. Played forward, Hoffman. Haley, the give and go. They have a ball and pushed down. Kept alive by Otterbein. Almost an overlapping run. Sugar still the hit. Meyer, the light tap, beautiful execution, somehow kept alive by Vitas. Hoffman, the return. Beautiful job and teamwork by Otterbein. The job is not done yet. Vitas, Hoffman, point Otterbein. Unreal from Olivia Vitas, keeping it alive. 22-17 in set number 2. Amanda Troyer, the libero, sends it over. Lesko, Kildow, bull in the run. Troyer digs. The set and spike once again gets the job done. You cannot stop Vitas and Baum. 23-17, Otterbein well in the driver's seat. Troyer continuing to serve as she will send it over. And the ace for Amanda Troyer. That is how she ended set number 1. And this time, that is how she earns Otterbein a spot back at set point. Amanda Troyer, the hot ace hand behind the line, sends it over one more time. Haley, Kildow. The tip from Meyer kept alive. Otterbein, a point here, wins the set. Kildow, Haley, hit over by Meyer. Otterbein controlling. Hoffman gets the tip. Lesko dives, keeping it alive for now. Bartel, crossbody, played back by Kefauver. The tip from Hoffman, played back by Kildow. The libero Haley picking out Heaven Bartel. Kept alive by Kefauver. The hit from Hoffman. We continue. Haley, Kildow, Meyer, dig from Troyer. Vitas, returned by Kefauver. Haley, Kildow, Bartel sneaks it over and earns the point. Tremendous resolve by the Purple Raiders. That gives them a chance. 24-18. All eyes go to the two-time All-American, number 9, Heaven Bartel, as she sends it over. Vitas, the run to Baum. It's blocked by Bolin and Sadie Thomas. She also gets a piece. Hoffman again, out of play. Mount Union getting in a rhythm. Maybe a little too late, down by 5, but it's not over yet. Bartel, all eyes return back to her. She will send it over, and it's an ace for Heaven Bartel! That puts Mount Union back within 4. What a job by Heaven Bartel, sneaking it over. We will have a timeout called by Otterbein. Mount Union down, but not out by any means. Heaven Bartel willing the Purple Raiders back within 4. It might take a lot on these next few serves. Mount Union, they have been in this spot before, going back to the Denison game as a part of the Mount Union Invitational in set 4. Down by 4, down to their final serve. They made something happen, I believe getting 6 points straight, winning 26-24, and then inevitably taking down Denison in set number 5. This, a different beast. The colors are similar, but Big Red compared to the Cardinals. Otterbein, a completely different beast. And looking at Denison against Otterbein, the Cardinals swept them. Otterbein, a very well-oiled machine. One thing to note, they have played a lot of tough competition, and that accounts for 6 of their 8 losses. The only ones that they lost to that were not ranked, Hanover and Muskie. Otherwise, number 6, number 2, number 1, number 24, and number 12 along with number 15 have taken them down. 24-20, Heaven Bartel continuing to serve, an ace on her last attempt as she will send it over. Otterbein need a point to end it. Hoffman tips. Kildau. Bartel playing it forward. Alexis Meyer staying in Otterbein territory. Mount Union goes again. Kildau. Sadie Thomas. Troyer. Vitez. Hoffman. It's blocked, but out of play. Otterbein survives and wins set number 2. 25-20. Taking a 2-0 lead overall. It got close at the end. Mount Union did all they could to potentially pull off the comeback, but it fell on deaf ears. We will switch sides and return in a few moments to go over the second set stats along with the combined stats so far. Mount Union, they need to win the next 3 sets if they want to play on to Saturday. You are watching Mount Union versus Otterbein Volleyball live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. As we return to the Rike Center, we will take a look at our stats through 2 sets for Mount Union. Kildau, 7 kills, Bartel 5, Bolin 2 for Otterbein. Lexi Scott leading the way with 10. Kennedy Hoffman following behind with 8, and Emerson Baum having 7. Going over to assists, once again, it's Casey Kildau, 8, Hansen 7, Lesko 2. As for Otterbein, Vitez 25, Troyer 2, and Schellenberger 2. Serving aces, Bartel has 1. Troyer, Vitez, and Baum each have 2. Total blocks, Bolin has 2, and Meyer has 1. As for Otterbein, Hoffman and Baum each have a half block. In the dig department, it's Heaven Bartel and Avery Haley tied up at 11 for Mount Union, with Caitlin Lesko having 6. Troyer 14 for Otterbein, Schellenberger 10, and Keith Falver having 6. Mount Union, they need a response here, otherwise their season will end on the road in Westerville. Otterbein, 1 set away from booking a trip back to the OAC Championship game to potentially win their 2nd title in a row after taking down the Purple Raiders last year. Hoping to get a score update from Marietta to see what is going on there. If I had to guess, Marietta is up at least by 1 set right now. They're just that good of a team. Nothing against John Carroll. It's just when you look at Marietta, they're a different beast, and everyone knows that in the conference. Yep, set 3 about to start, 2-0 Marietta. That is what we expected to see. Sent over, and we are underway in what could be the final set of Mount Union season. Bartel opens the scoring. Plenty of power on that hit. Once again, going back to last year, Mount Union took on Marietta in the OAC Tournament semifinals, reversed swept the Pioneers, winning sets 3 through 5, and that ended up being the difference. Without it, they would have been done. Haley keeping it alive, Kildare forward, and Bullen the return. The effort still there from Mount Union, but the kill goes to Sugar. Otterbein ties it up 1-1. What a hit and what a kill by Sugar. There's a reason why she made all OAC honorable mention. Troyer back for the Cardinals, and she will send it over. Too rich of a hit. Mount Union back in the lead. After the first serve of set number 3, that was Mount Union's first lead of the match. And they hold on to the lead for the second time as Bullen sending it over. But a kill right back. Emerson Baum dominating the middle. So now 2-2. Possession going back to the Otterbein Cardinals. It will be Olivia Vitaz back deep to serve as she will send it over. Sadie Thomas, Kildare, the give and go. 6 and 3 equals 1. Substitution for Mount Union. It's Hanson and Meister in for Kildare and Meyer. Meister along with Sadie Thomas getting a lot more game time than they usually do, and that is a good thing to see for Mount Union's future. Hanson sends it over. Vice has the set. The hit from Hoffman. It's a story as old as time. Vitaz distributes. Otterbein gets a point on the ensuing hit. A few changes for the Cardinals as they will send back number 21, Mackenzie Schellenberger. Just over an hour into the match in Westerville. Sent over, but it stays in Otterbein territory. Mount Union takes the point. Substitution, Lesko in for Sadie Thomas. And there is Lesko on your screen, the senior getting ready to send the ball over. 4-3 Mount Union. They look to keep it that way. Vitaz, the set, boom, the kill. 25-26 continues to equal a point. And once again, you gotta love the Otterbein Cardinal. He's enjoying it. I absolutely love that they have the full-size mascot at the volleyball game. That is just awesome to see. A lot of mascots, I mean, you really can't do a Purple Raider other than McCall, and McCall is not at games often, except for football, but volleyball, that'd be pretty cool. Get McCall up in the box. Let me and McCall call a game. That'd be pretty cool. Just an idea. 5-4 Otterbein leads as they will send it over. Hanson, Bartel, the tip, sneaking it over, and that ties it back up. Seeing how the set is going, I have a feeling we are going to see a tight finish to the match. Maybe we play an extra set. I feel like winning a set right now is the goal of Mount Union. Win 1, win 4, then win the last. Out of play, out behind the back line. Mount Union retakes the lead. Now the key is keeping it. We've seen them be in this 5-5, 4-4, 6-6 region very often this year. Some games, they lose that lead. Other times, they're able to extend it pretty quick. Against Otterbein, it is going to be a game of cat and mouse. It's a back and forth affair, and that is what we expect to see, and that is what will continue to transpire if we stay part of the course. A block, and there's the blocking defense of Mount Union. Hear the oohs on the bench. Seven 5 Mount Union, their biggest lead as Avery Haley sending it over, looks to put Mount Union up by 3, but they will not. Beautiful kill by Sugar, brings it back within 1. Substitution for the Otterbein Cardinals as they will bring on Grace Gantz. She has 2 aces to her name thus far. 7-6, Mount Union leading. Sent over shallowly, played to the net. Bartel the hit, and it's out of play. Bartel gets the point and puts Mount Union back up by 2. Substitutions, Meister along with Hanson subbing out. Kildare and Meyer back in. Casey Kildau sends it over. Played right to the net. And tipping around, kept alive, Kildau the push. And the whistle blows. It's against Mount Union. A double hit puts the Cardinals back within one. Otterbein, to their credit, they are staying in the set. They are not taking their 2-0 lead for granted. And that is what I like to see from a team in this spot. A lot of teams will sit back and say, oh, we're up 2-0. We're going to win. We're going to advance. That is not the mindset of Otterbein, and that is not the mindset they need to have. They need to keep this mindset of, okay, it's anyone's match. We can still lose. But if we play the game the way we know how to play, we can win this. Bartel getting open. Played forward. Set back. Hit over by Hoffman. Bolin skying it. Played to the far side on the outside where Bartel hits it. And that's enough for the point. The last effort, not enough. And it looks like some fans almost going home with a souvenir. Obviously, at this level, if a volleyball goes into the stands, you do not get to keep it, but still. Sent over by Bartel. Barely dug. No return! Bartel puts Mount Union in double figures. It's a 3-point lead for the girls in white and purple. Bartel, she is willing this team to a lead. She sends it over. The set from Vitaz. Kildau picks out Bartel. Going to Meyer. The three senior combining on the play. Scherger picks out Hoffman. Bartel. Kildau. Tipped over by Meyer, and Meyer gets the kill. / point. Not really a kill, but nonetheless, Mount Union takes the point. Do we see a timeout? Yes, we do. Coach Wright wants to talk things over. What a job by the Purple Raiders. Once again, down but not out. 11-7 through 18 serves in set number 3. We will step aside. Mount Union not backing down from a fight. As we return to the Rike Center, if you are a small business owner looking to sponsor local broadcasts in the greater Stark County or Cuyahoga County area, contact me at one of those 3 avenues on your screen, and I would love to negotiate a deal with you. We will be featuring our first sponsors next Friday as Holy Name takes on Amherst Steel, 7 p.m. puck drop at Michael A. Reese Ice Arena in Parma, Ohio. Bartel sending it over, back underway. The Purple Raiders up by 4 in set number 3, kept alive, but past the antenna and out of play. Plenty of power out of the timeout from the Cardinals. And we have seen that the entire match from Otterbein. We see their power, they know how to hit, and they know how to be a tough team to break down. They have done everything right today, and right now, they're in a good spot. That won't help their cause, putting Mount Union back up by 4, but still, if you're Otterbein, you're feeling really good about the spot you are in. You have dominated possession. You have been able to set up your offense more frequently than Mount Union, and most importantly, the blocking has really gone away. Kildau. Bartel bumping it forward. It's Alexis Meyer. It's blocked. Otterbein giving Mount Union a taste of their own medicine. It's a battle. Welty plays it back. Kildau. The offense goes to Mount Union. It's blocked once again. Thomas outside. It's blocked for a 3rd time. Olivia Vitez downs it, putting Otterbein back within 3. Wow. And once again, the Otterbein Cardinal, he's telling him, put it down. You might have to give player of the game to the Otterbein Cardinal mascot. You can also give it to Vitez, who has also had a tremendous game so far. Tipped over by Meyer in the point. There's Alexis Meyer showing precision opposed to pace. Meister and Hansen in. Kildau and Meyer out. It's Melissa Hanson on to serve for the Purple Raiders. The sophomore from Hudson, Ohio sends it over. The hit, it slips into Mount Union territory. Haley keeps it alive. Thomas sneaking it over. Vitez playing it forward. Troyer, Hoffman, lollipops, and the point goes to Mount Union. 14-9, the biggest lead of the match in any set from the Purple Raiders. This is what we need to see from Mount Union. Hanson sending it over, almost an ace, almost. The hit kept alive by Haley and returned by Thomas. What looked to be promising turns to the favor of Otterbein. Hanson hit over by Meister, but she can't get it to go. The Cardinals survive and enter double figures. Another good response. Otterbein continues to be able to match the Purple Raider output. And speaking of Mount Union, you can see on the far side a lot of purple. Given this match being 2.5 hours away from campus, the Purple Raiders, they traveled well. Welty hitting it over. Vitez up to Scott, kept alive briefly, off of the one basketball hoop and returned by Thomas. Welty the tip. If Mount Union takes this point, wow, but they do not. Emerson Baum gets the point, but the backboard almost just gave the assist of dreams to the Purple Raiders. (14-11) as it is sent over, and it stays in Otterbein territory. Mount Union 10 points away from winning their first set. Thomas out, Lesko in. This is the battle we all wanted to see. Here it is. Mount Union reversing last year's 5th set scoreline as Lesko sends it over. The hit, it's blocked! Riley Meister puts it in Otterbein territory, putting Mount Union up by 5. Riley Meister, talk about a pleasant surprise in the OAC semifinals. When it matters most, you need players to step up, and Meister has done so today. That time, it's Otterbein stepping up. Hoffman the kill. Even if this set is the final one, this has been one heck of a match to watch. It doesn't get much better than this. Baum staying it over. Haley. The set from Hanson. Bartel hits crossbody. Played forward, the give and go, it slides, Welty loses track of it, Otterbein back within 3. And there this is. This is Otterbein being Otterbein. They know how to respond, they know how to regather, they know how to take a deep breath, and that will win them matches. Sent over by Baum. Lesko setting forward, Bartel the bump. 16-13, Otterbein trying to put themselves back within 2. Bartel, Meister getting it over. Here comes the set and spike. Hoffman, it's blocked. Bartel gets a piece, played forward, pushed over by Sugar. Mount Union on the offensive. It sneaks over on the antenna on the ricochet. Mount Union gets a well-needed point back. Eyes go back to Avery Haley, the libero, as she is on to serve. Avery Haley sends it over. Vitez, the run, kept alive by Avery Haley. Bolin plays back, and Bartel returns. Good adjustment by Avery Haley, going from the back line, going forward, and the point goes to Mount Union. Otterbein can't believe it. They call it a lift. The bench definitely pleased. 18-13. Haley, another big serve. It's shallow, put down by Ava Bolin. The brick wall in the middle puts Mount Union within 6 points of winning set number 3. Timeout cards. Ava Bolin, along with Heaven Bartel, have dominated the 2 Bs in the front line, giving Mount Union a 6-point lead in set number 3. And that is where we'll step aside. Mount Union is a comeback brewing. We'll find out when we return. 19-13, Mount Union in the driver's seat in set number 3 with a chance to make it 2-1 overall. If you are just tuning in, I am Nathan Smee live for you on the SmeeSports YouTube channel on behalf of Mount Union. Sent over by Haley, and we are back underway. The set and spike Hoffman, the dive from Haley, an excellent dig. Meister, the kill! Riley Meister continues to dominate, putting Mount Union in the 20s. Once again, welcome to the show, Riley Meister. Haley sends it over, a 7-point Purple Raider advantage. Haley goes to the ground, keeps it alive, Hansen forward, Bartel, the dig from Troyer. Definitely good execution, it's blocked! Meister again! Are you kidding me, Riley Meister? In the words of Gus Johnson, you got some barbecue and you didn't invite me? 21-13, Haley, the light serve. Vitez, Lexi Scott is blocked, Bolin this time. Vitez tipped over, Otterbein needs a response, Bolin, it's blocked. Kristen Sugar, the middle hitter, defends Bolin nicely, putting Otterbein back within 7. That's the response Otterbein needed. They made one play. Can they make another? They need to keep compounding it. We make one. Now can we make two? We made two. Can we make three? And so on and so forth. The hit by Meister, kept alive by Troyer. Meister back to Hansen. Bartel returns. The run far side, the kill. Sugar once again. Otterbein back within 6. They want to be done now. (21-15), 6-point Purple Raider lead. Haley, Hansen, Heaven, Bartel, skied but still in play. Scott the push, Bartel, Hansen, Riley Meister on the tip. Troyer dives, keeping it alive. Another good run. Hansen forward. Haley behind. Heaven Bartel gets the kill. Once again, it's Heaven Bartel. Perfect placement, perfect time. Mount Union up by 7. Meister and Hansen sub out. If nothing else is learned from today, we learned Riley Meister can be an impact player on the right side for the Purple Raiders. The hitting power that Mount Union possesses going forward. The middle hitters, you have Bolin and Welty on the right side, McKee and Meister. Man, oh man, next year's gonna be fun. And also a lot of good players coming in. 2 players from Hoban's tremendous team entering the mix next year. Scott, it stays in Mount Union territory. Bolin unable to force it over. Otterbein gets a point back. Double change for the Cards. Scott subs out along with Schellenberger. It is Ashley Kefalver, the sophomore from Hamilton Township, back deep for the Cards. Sent over. Lesko, Kildau, cross court, Heaven Bartel again, sneaks it over, kept in play by Hoffman. And Hoffman returns. Kildau, Haley sets, lining it up for Meyer, and Meyer gets the point! Once again, ricocheting off a finger, Mount Union 2 points away from sealing set number 3. Heaven Bartel, one heck of a server, sends it over. She already has one ace to her name, won't get one there as the return is out of play. Mount Union, for the first time today, reaches set point. Here we go. Bartel to earn her in the class of 2025. One more set. Kildau. Alexis Meyer the tap. Vitez back. Troyer lining it up for Hoffman, and Hoffman overhits. Mount Union takes set number 3, 25-16. It's not over yet. Mount Union able to cause some chaos. We will have set number 4. The Purple Raiders the response they needed, they found it. All still to play for. Otterbein up 2-1 through 3 sets. You are watching Mount Union versus Otterbein Volleyball live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel on behalf of the University of Mount Union. A match so good, we'd be robbing you if it ended in 3 sets. 2-1 Otterbein through 3. Mount Union victorious in set 3, 25-16. If you are just tuning in, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Score update from Marietta. It was 21-19 in set 3, John Carroll leading, but 3 straight points from the Pioneers puts them in the driver's seat, up by 1 late. Marietta already victorious in sets 1 and 2. Kildau sends it over, and we are underway for what could be the final set of the match. Troyer sending it over. Let's go. Kildau lining up for Bartel, and Bartel the kill! That is how you start set number 4. Heaven Bartel continuing to have a tremendous evening on the road at Otterbein. Kildau sends it over once again. Played forward. Hoffman too much in front. A 2-0 Purple Raider lead. The difference between sets 1 and 2 in comparison to set 3 and the small sample size in set number 4. That difference speaks volumes. The dig keeps it alive. The spike from Hoffman well into the bleachers. Otterbein gets on the board loudly. And that's good from Otterbein. They did everything right. They were able to force the ball out of play. They have been at their best when spiking full force, forcing the ball ricocheting to who knows where. If they can't continue to do that at the net, they have a good chance to win this match. Sent over, Bartel, the set, Meyer, the light tap, kept alive by Vitaz. Far side, Hoffman, the dig from Lesko. Kildau picks out Heaven Bartel, lollipops, Troyer, Vitaz, Baum, kept alive by the left hand of Bartel. Cross court to the outside, Meyer, the light tap. Otterbein survives it, blocked by Meyer, but out of play. Otterbein ties it. There it is once again. Otterbein doing what they do best, responding. Amanda Troyer, second team All OAC as a defensive specialist, sends it over. Lesko, Kildau, picks out Bartel. Hoffman Vitez, bomb, sneaks it over, Haley keeps it alive. Kildau, Meyer, cross body, tipping, return to the logo, blocked by Bolin, still in play. Again, it tips off of Ava Bolin. Kildau, Bolin the light tap, kept in play by Vitez. Hoffman goes again, Kildau, Meyer. We continue as Haley lightly returns. Vitez pushes and gets the point. Beautiful snipe by Olivia Vitez. Perfect execution by Olivia Vitez. She found a gap in the defense and exploited it. 3-0 run for the Otterbein Cardinals. The libero Troyer sends it over, but can't get it to go. Mount Union ties it. 3-3. The Purple Raiders take back possession. Lesko subbing out, and who else but Heaven Bartel. Back behind the line to serve. Played forward, the give and go, pushed, collision. Bartel and Haley keep it alive. Thomas gets the skim and the point. Mount Union's depth prevailing. I mean, how many new faces have we called today in comparison to Tuesday? We really didn't call much of Riley Meister. We saw her late, but otherwise, throughout the 5 sets, not much. Thomas, I don't think, even touched the court. We've seen her make an impact. That is great for the future. 4-4 after that ball goes out of play. But if you're Mount Union, seeing the future provide in a playoff atmosphere, that is big. Both teams know if they lose tonight, their season ends. I don't think Otterbein or Mount Union will have the resume to make it to the big dance if they do not win the OAC tournament. Bolin out of play. Otterbein takes the lead. And this is where Mount Union needs to keep their heads up. Still a long ways to go. They can win it. They just need to fight. Vitez sends it over. Haley to the net. Meyer sneaks it. Still in Otterbein territory. Huffman returns. Bartel. Kildau. Sadie Thomas staying in Mount Union territory. Kildau on the offensive. Picks out Meyer. Meyer sneaking it. Played forward. Troyer picking out number 6, Mergen. And Meyer hits it over. Cross body. Tapped and out of play. Mount Union ties it. Another good response by the Purple Raiders. Response is the name of the game right now. If Mount Union scores Otterbein, they need to be able to respond. If Otterbein scores Mount Union, they need to be able to respond themselves. Vitez picking out, bomb and a block. Welty puts it down. Kept alive by Troyer. No man's land, Bolin dives. And returned by Meyer. Mount Union scrappy in the midcourt. Bolin skies and into the bleachers. Otterbein snatches back the lead. Once again, there's the scrappiness, and there is the response by the Otterbein Cardinals. (6-5). Otterbein leads set number 4. A win from the Cardinals seals a trip to the OAC championship game. Tapped over by Meyer. We're tied. Checking in Marietta one final time tonight. They sweep John Carroll. That is what we expected to see. This will be the last home game that Otterbein has this year. Hansen sends it over. Troyer digs. Cross court the hit. Kept alive by Thomas. Almost by Hansen, but not enough there. As now it's 7-6 Otterbein. We cannot get any more back and forth than this. Sent over by Baum. Haley forward, tipped over by Welty. It's returned immediately by Otterbein. That makes it 8-6. Emerson Baum will go back deep to serve. Otterbein up by 2. A point here makes it 3, and that might be a tough test to come back for if you are Mount Union. Play to the net, Thomas. Kept alive at the net and behind the score and pushed back into play. It's not going to matter. Mount Union responds. Mount Union 16th in the nation in regards to digs, entering play tonight, averaging just over 19 per set. They're 5th in the OAC for offense, just over 12 kills per set. And entering play tonight, the most impressive thing, 1,291 kills and 1,291 kills allowed. Perfectly balanced. Mount Union, speaking of balance, ties it up. It's very rare that deep in a season with so many games played to have kills allowed and kills earned be the same exact number. I don't even know if that has happened before in OAC history. It maybe has, but I highly doubt it. Troyer picks out Scott. Haley. The accidental return. Hansen. Avery Haley picking out Riley Meister. Meister, the spark plug, puts Mount Union on top. I know there's a lot of rotation, but number 11 maybe has to stay on the court the rest of this match. She has just been so lights out for Mount Union. Lesko sending it over. Mount Union up by 1. The hit, it skims into Purple Raider territory. Bartel tapping it. No one in either backcourt. Scott skimming it. Hansen. Haley picks out Bartel. It skies. It rolls off of the backboard and somehow returned. Are you kidding me, Otterbein? Bartel goes again. Troyer skies. Scott. Bartel pushes and snipes. Mount Union in double figures. Unbelievable by both sides, but the Purple Raiders do just enough. 10-8, Mount Union leading set number 4. And now it looks like play will halt for a brief second. Looks like just a normal stoppage. 10-8, Mount Union leads set number 4. Lesko to the net. It's tapped out. It's a point for the Purple Raiders. Heaven Bartel does it again. What a job by Mount Union. Their defense, the number 4 defense in the nation, has arrived. Sent over, but out of play. Good idea on the serve. Now 11-9. Mount Union up by 2. They need to keep their cushion. Otterbein, if they can continue to eat into the lead, they have a chance to eliminate it. Sent over by the freshman Schramm. Hansen, Bartel, Schramm forward. Scott played back, and the light return from Schellenberger. Haley, Meister, skimming it. Vitez, the run, it blocks down into Mount Union territory. Scherger puts the Cardinals back within 1. Another good play by Otterbein. Their runs have been tremendous at the net. Schramm sends it over. The dig kept it alive, but it's an ace for Schramm. We're tied at 11. Otterbein's bench is loving it. A huge point upcoming. 11-all through 22 serves. Otterbein, a point here, puts them back on top. Schramm sends it over. Haley. Hansen picks out Bartel. Troyer forward. Beautiful snipe. Lesko into the bleachers. Otterbein leads. A 4-0 run from Otterbein puts them in the driver's seat. Mount Union, once again, need a response. Schramm sends it over. Haley, the set and spike. Welty, it's blocked. Pushed over. Hansen picks out Haley. Riley Meister's turn. Off the net and no return. Otterbein up by 2. And a timeout called by Mount Union. Otterbein down by 3. Flips the script. It's a 5-0 run for the Cardinals, and that is where they will stand when we return. The Otterbein mascot got a little bit of curiosity taking the better of him as he was trying to hear what Otterbein was saying during the timeout. A lot of attention is focused on wondering what was said during these timeouts. For Otterbein, if I had to assume, just keep doing what you're doing. You're on a 5-0 run, keep momentum going. If you're Mount Union, get back to the basics and be a Raider. That is what I assume Coach Morrison told her team. Welty returns. Otterbein, a point here, puts them up by 3, and they do. Scherger does the business. So now that extends the Otterbein run to 6. Mount Union, they need to cut into the Otterbein lead here. Otherwise, it might be a little too late. Schramm unable to get it to go. Mount Union needed the point, and they got it back. (14-12). Mount Union trailing as Haley sends it over. A point here, huge. Vitez, Scott, no one home in the back line. Otterbein responds. 10 points separate the Cardinals from a trip to Marietta. Schellenberger and Scott both sub out for the Cards. 15-12, Mount Union trailing. Otterbein still remains in the driver's seat. And that one is sent over by Kefauver, and it's an ace for Kefauver. 16-12, Otterbein, an 8-1 run. The run came at the right time for the Cardinals, and that might be enough to send them to Marietta. Let's go. Hansen. Bartel returned into Mount Union territory. They start the attack with Bolin, and Bolin can't get it to go. 9-1 run for Otterbein. The fight continuing from Mount Union, but Otterbein, they have the clinicality. Up by 5, the Cardinals look for point 18. Hansen, Bartel, lollipops, played close to the net. It's blocked! Ava Bolin gives Mount Union a shot, making them down by 4. It starts small, but then it gets bigger. Mount Union, they got 1 point. They need another, and then another. One play at a time. That is how they need to look at this. Kildow goes shallow. At the net, cross court to Hoffman. It's out of play. Mount Union back within 3. Otterbein had a run. Mount Union says, why not us? Kildow sends it over. Troyer forward. Hoffman open on the outside. Gets the kill. Kennedy Hoffman continuing to dominate in her final game at home as an Otterbein Cardinal. For the seniors in this match, it means a little bit more. Troyer sends it over. 18-14, Otterbein leads. Bartel skims it. Still in Otterbein territory. Hoffman, it's blocked but out of play by Meyer. Otterbein up by 5, 6 points away from sending Mount Union back home out of the playoffs. Timeout, Purple Raiders. Things were going well for Mount Union until Otterbein stopped putting up with nonsense and changed the game. Since Mount Union led by 3, they have scored 3 and they have allowed 11. An 11-3 run for the Otterbein Cardinals, and that will end up being the difference. Right now, it looks like the Otterbein Cardinal has locked eyes with me, and that has been a fun thing to watch as well. I've said it a few times. The Otterbein Cardinal, he's looked up here a couple of times, trying to maybe get in my head a little bit from down by Mount Union's bench. Definitely very fun to watch him. Right now, it looks like he's a little bit stressed out. It's a close match, but he might be soaring to Marietta along with the team. Once again, the winner takes on Marietta, who swept John Carroll in the Blue Streaks' final ever OAC contest, 3-0 in Marietta. The Pioneers continue their season undefeated. They have not lost yet. Otterbein or Mount Union, They will look to change that on Saturday, most likely a 1 p.m. start time. Kildare, Meyer gets it over, Troyer digs. And the kill in the middle! Emerson Bohm puts the Cardinals in the 20s. Momentum, it's huge. Otterbein up by 6, a 12-3 run. Troyer trying to make it 13-3. Kildare, Bartel the bump. Troyer, the set and spike from Hoffman. It's blocked by Alexis Meyer. Meyer gives Mount Union a chance, down by 5. Heaven Bartel, maybe serving for the last time today, sends it over, and it's an ace for Heaven Bartel! Unbelievable from the senior. The hope is growing. Even if it's a glimmer, the glimmer still grows. The whistle blows. It looks like Bartel went too early. I think she'll just reserve. I don't know exactly why they halted play, but either way they did. 20-16, Bartel goes again. Otterbein looks for a response. Kept alive by Sadie Thomas, who's back in the game. Meyer, the spike, it somehow returns, and Otterbein takes the point! Lady Luck is red today! How do you even unpack that? If you're a coach watching film of that play, what do you even say to your team? You made the right play, but somehow, in some way, the ricochet denies you. Instead of 2017, it's 21-16. Meyer responds right away. But wow, Otterbein. If luck was the biggest factor in this game, they have all of it right now. Ava Bolin now on to serve for the Purple Raiders. She will send it over, almost gets the ace. Kept alive by Troyer. The dive from Bartel keeps it alive. It is a dig as Bolin returns. Otterbein, offensive, somehow alive. Bartel the dig, returned by Kildare. They go again, no one home in the middle. Otterbein takes the point. 22-17, Mount Union trailing. Otterbein 3 points away from booking a trip in the OAC championship game. Mackenzie Schellenberger on to serve, and she will send it over. Thomas digs, tap back on the offensive. Welty gets the point. What a job by Casey Kildare, roping it back in and setting up Cammie Welty. That is tremendous teamwork and something that is not really seen in the game. Bringing the ball back and giving your team a chance. It looks like we're going to have a discussion about it. Maybe they're going to say that she hit the net. I don't think that's a call, and it looks like they just stopped before the timeout for whatever reason they felt they needed to. 22-18, Mount Union trailing. Hansen with possession, sends it over. Troyer, Vitez pushed over. Haley dives, keeping it alive. Hansen does too, and Meister returns. Troyer at the net's a tough play, and it's out. No tip. Mount Union back within 3. A nail biter in set number 4. An hour and 45 minutes in as Hansen will send it over. Towards the net, it's Lexi Scott. Haley playing it forward. Hansen picks out Thomas. Thomas off the antenna. Otterbein needs 2 to advance. A good return, but the antenna says otherwise. Mount Union, they need a miracle. Baum sends it over. Bartel, Hansen, Meister. Played forward. A good chance for Otterbein. It's blocked by Welty and out of play. Mount Union gets a point back, down by 3, and they will take possession. Thomas subs out. Lesko in. She's a senior. She wants it. She wants one more set. She sends it over. Up to Scott, and off the antenna, Mount Union takes the point. A fitting bit of irony gives Mount Union a chance. Timeout, Otterbein. Wow, 2 plays where the ball hits off the antenna, denying Otterbein and Mount Union a tremendous chance to score. It doesn't matter, 23-21. Mount Union, they need this next point more than Otterbein. They need the next 2 points. They need a lot, and they've been in this spot before, but so has Otterbein. They're a very good and a very well-coached team, and that is just what Otterbein likes to do. Coach Monica Wright, she's been here for, I believe, almost 20 years. She has seen a lot of good volleyball in her day. Coach Morrison, in year 10, she has seen the same. If I had to guess, she is telling her girls, I trust you, go out there and win us set number 4. Set number 5, that is a whole nother story. Right now, the focus remains on the task at hand. Give the Purple Raiders one more set. Survive and advance. Caitlin Lesko, what do you have for your encore? Sent over, 23-21. Troyer up to Scott and kept alive, but they say it hit. It is match point in favor of Otterbein. A close play, but just not enough. Meister, Hansen, Welty, Lesko, Haley and Bartel, Mount Union 6. A point from the Cardinals wins it. The freshman Schramm sends it over. Hansen, Bartel keeps it alive. Heaven Bartel, one more Raider point. Bolin subs in for Welty, and now the eyes turn to Avery Haley. 24-22. Sent over by Avery Haley. Here it is. Otterbein. It's blocked. It's still in their territory. They're on the offensive. Kept alive by Lesko. Hansen. Meister. The tip. Played forward by Schramm. Vitez. The tip. Lesko playing for her career. Up to Bartel. It's blocked back. Haley. Hansen. Bartel. Another go. Troyer. It's a tight one at the net. It's pushed. Haley. Hansen. Riley Meister gets the point! Mount Union within 1! Riley Meister does it again! Possession with the Purple Raiders. A point gives us extra volleyball. Haley sends it over. Otterbein needs a point, and it's alive! Hansen pushes it over! Unbelievable! We play on! It's blocked! We're tied! We're tied! Unbelievable! Ava Bolin in the front line. Are you kidding me? Unreal! The Purple Raiders don't give up. Haley sends it over. A point gives advantage. Scott tips. It skims. Otterbein the point. Once again, it is match point in favor of Otterbein. Mount Union, they cannot allow another point. And here comes the cavalry. Kefauver and Hoffman. Kefauver, she began the game serving. Now, with a chance to go to Marietta, can she win it? 25-24. Sent over. Haley, forward, the set. Bartel, it's blocked. It's in Mount Union territory. Otterbein moves on to the OAC championship game. A spectacular set number 4. The Otterbein Cardinal, he is down on the ground. He can't believe it. He is excited. We'll go show him real quick. He can't believe it. It's reverse snow angels from the Cardinal. But Mount Union, their road to Marietta ends here. 26-24, 3-1 overall. The fight was there. The heart was there. Everything you expected from Mount Union was there. but it just fell short. Otterbein, good luck to you on Saturday against Marietta. Mount Union, they will end 19-10. Heading into next year, a lot of optimism, a lot of good from tonight. Those seniors have a lot to be proud of. They did so much for the program, and they will have plenty of memories leaving Mount Union at the end of this year. Heaven Bartel, Alexis Meyer, Casey Kildow, Darby Leininger, the lot, and Caitlin Lesko. Congrats on great careers as Purple Raiders. The road ends here. Otterbein, they will play for the OAC Championship game on Saturday with a trip to the NCAA tournament on the line. But for that will do it here from Otterbein. The Cardinals 3-1 victors. Once again, if you are a small business owner looking to sponsor a local broadcast, contact me at one of those avenues. I have been Nathan Smee. Thank you for spending your Thursday evening with us here. This has been Mount Union versus Otterbein Volleyball live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Thank you to Otterbein for hosting. Thank you to Mount Union for busing me here. And as always, go Purple Raiders.